Cinderella sucks, and they lived happily ever after. The human finishes reciting the ancient tale by memory, and moves to stand up, and then what happened? The two felt are adults, probably used to such fairy tales, and so the question is unexpected, coming from them. Well, that's the end of the story. I assume she went to live in the castle and lived with the prince for the rest of her life. That's what happily ever after means. Did the prince love her truly? The felt are still eager to hear more, where a human would be content with the ending. Yeah, did the stepmother and sisters live as they did before she married the prince? The human is finally annoyed enough to shut them down. I don't know, the story ends when she marries the prince. There's nothing more to it. Why what? I don't understand what you want from me. Do you want the tale of the evil countess insulting Cinderella at a diplomatic meeting? Their eyes lower at the mention of more trouble for the princess. We just want to know what happens next. Now that she's won, we get the interesting part of the story. What? Why would the story keep going? She's won, the interesting part is over. No, it's not. It's barely started. The hero beats the bad guy, and that's the start of the story. Are you telling me the whole thing is just Cinderella becoming a princess? The second felt speaks up in agreement with his brother. Shane's right, this story sucks if that was the whole thing. The human scratches his head. I don't know what to say, it's a fairy tale, it's written for children, I get that, but felt fairy tales don't end before the best part. Fine, tell me a felt fairy tale. He raises an eyebrow. The felt straightens his posture into the shape of someone telling a beloved story. His voice deepens slightly, and he becomes less casual in tone. Once upon a time, there was a young boy by the name of Nathan. Nathan was hated by his wicked parents, and so one day he ran away from home. He came to the cottage of an elderly woman, who Nathan knew must be the healer of the forest his evil parents had spoken fearfully of. The healer took Nathan into her home, fed and clothed him, and the next morning she set out to perform her labors, with Nathan as her apprentice. She gave him the sickle she used when she was a young girl, and taught him to harvest the herbs of the forest. There was the numbing leaf, which they wrapped around Nathan's knee when he skinned it. There was the spikenut, which they crushed into a paste and put over the door to ward away rodents. There was the looper fruit, which was sold to passing traders in return for essential supplies. Nathan became a healer in his own right, and when he was of age he went with the older woman to share their herbs with the people of the village, even Nathan's wicked parents. Nathan learned all that his teacher had to teach, and he learned new secrets of the forest too, which I cannot tell you because I do not know. As Nathan grew into late adulthood, the old healer became elderly, and he had to care for her. In time she passed to lung rot, and he became the only healer of the forest. He did not take an apprentice, and when he passed, the village grew weak. In time, it too fell. The younger brother grins. Nathan the healer is a way better story than Cinderella. What? He just dies? The human's mouth hangs slightly open. The story ends there. Well, Cinderella dies too, doesn't she? I guess, but that's not part of the story. It should be. After she marries the prince, there's so much more to say. The sad beginning was so long, I didn't think it would be the whole thing. The human closes his mouth. Cinderella is a happy story with a happy ending. Your Nathan the healer story sucks. The whole thing is her family shitting all over her. That's the conflict. You can't have a story without conflict. Yes, you can. Wait, what? They both grow quiet. You humans don't have stories without conflict? No, I don't think so. Cinderella ends when she gets away from her stepfamily. Sleeping Beauty ends when she wakes up. Little Red Riding Hood ends when the woodsman kills the wolf. Nathan the healer starts when he gets away from his family. Flying Frank starts when the gods give him wings. The Knights of Jordan starts when the rat beast is slain. The felt is interrupted by the human, Flying Frank. Does he fly into the sun and die? Because Icarus flies into the sun and dies. No, he ferries goods and passengers across a canal for money. and gives the money to the gods at the temple. Dude, I think our definition of a good story is way different.